Hello, people. We are going to watch the Bad Batch episode 7 today. So get ready to sync up with us on Disney Plus if you're pledged here to do the watch-alongs with us. A space battle?
I don't think Ruby likes this very much.
You name that thing? What's with these guys?
Well, we did steal from them.
Technically, the rogue.
Oh no.
Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
Stay calm, you're scaring her.
Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
Oh no.
Got her.
Well, hell yeah. Nice.
Exciting.
Hunter?
What are you two up to?
The mission's over. Can we go?
Again?
It's a tradition. It makes the kid happy.
Aha. The kid.
Eh.
Don't take long.
Yeah!
They're both kids.
Who is that? Strider.
You said the job paid 3 times this.
For me, not for you. Rather generous considering the debt you owe me.
What debt? Docking fees, port charges, gear, fuel, ration.
Did you say talking fees?
Yeah.
That's part of the mission.
That'll be 14 credits for the Mantel mix.
Put it on Sitch tab.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
You are wrecking their bills.
I see it. Move it.
Hanshaw first.
Who are you? Oh, great. Another clone. Just what I needed.
I'm so excited. I didn't think he'd show up so soon.
Is this the Commander Rex I've heard about?
Been a while, boys. Where have you been, Rex? That's a long story.
Let me tell you about the finale.
Imperial files have you listed as killed in action.
Being dead in the Empire's eyes has its advantages.
Well, look who it is. Come here, Rex.
I thought you didn't like the regs.
This one we like.
Omega, this is Rex. I've met many clones in my time, but never one like you.
You're a Generation 1.
How'd you know that?
From the lines in your face.
Check.
Dude, you gotta have that looked at.
You used the last one.
What's wrong?
No, Dan.
Finally.
If you're concerned about the so-called inhibitor chips, don't be.
You haven't removed your chips?
No, not yet.
Rex knows how to do it.
Where do you think I got this head scar?
Those chips make you a threat to everyone around you, even her. Take it easy, Captain.
We'll show them how to remove it.
How do you suggest we get them out? Good question. I'll be in touch.
Good thing Rex found you guys. There's a chance for Wrecker.
I don't like this plan. He wants to cut open my head.
All of our heads, actually.
Not mine. I don't have an inhibitor chip.
Why not? That's not fair.
Give her a chip now.
We should cut it open anyway.
I'm picking up Rex's beacon.
Wow.
God, that's such good animation. Oh, man.
Bracca may not be much to look at, but it has exactly what we need. I had my inhibitor chip taken out.
Oh.
Wow.
That's where we're heading.
Then why don't we land all the way over here?
Everyone down. That's why. We need to keep out of sight from their patrols.
They really capture that like old map painting look.
Man, And the animations.
Breathtaking.
Amazing. Amazing. It's like a PS5 game.
What is it?
Stay above the waterline.
Even the water looks great.
How'd you get yours out? I had help. Medical bay's at the other end. Wrecker, grab that cable.
You know who helped him? Ahsoka.
Ah, but she's not coming. This is not gonna happen. Never.
Nicely done.
You're up, Wrecker. Yeah, my head doesn't hurt anymore. I'm fine.
Oh, buddy, come on. Look at that focus.
It's like the descent.
Oh no. Oh boy.
Of course this would happen to him.
Are you all right? No. Smells awful down here.
Ooh.
What's that?
Wrecker, start climbing. Why?
Why? Oh no.
Hold faster!
Ooh, no.
Oh no!
Oh.
Wrecker!
Wow.
Oh. Tasty Sarlacc.
This will do nicely.
I would no longer call this medical bay a sterile environment.
Do you prefer to use the facility on Camino?
This will do nicely. Time to get scanned, Wrecker.
Let's get this over with.
This thing better not activate like a minute before.
I'm a little afraid it's gonna. Or that messing with it will cause it to kick in.
I think I found something.
Get that away from me.
Something's not right.
We need to speed this up.
Let's hope the scrappers don't come around.
We couldn't save the general, but at least we helped the Padawan escape.
Why aren't all of you in the room?
Oh no. Oh.
Direct violation of Order 66.
Why are you
Guys. Ooh.
You just gotta get him unconscious for a minute.
Whack him on the head. Oh, nice. Knife to a gunfight.
Oh God, no.
Woo.
Hit him again.
Snap out of it.
Eh.
No. Keep moving, Omega.
Climb into the tube.
This isn't you, Wrecker. It's the inhibitor chip. I don't want to hurt you.
Ooh, no.
But Wrecker, I'm your friend.
Orders.
Oh.
We'll be fine. Look at that. He'll do it.
The procedure's complete.
Wrecker! He should be awake by now.
He is live. We won't know more until he regains consciousness.
Why don't you take Omega topside and get some air?
No. I'm staying until he wakes up.
Oh.
Hey, kid.
He's awake!
Oh, you made it.
1 chip down, 3 to go. Who's next?
You should just keep abducting clones. Just keep kidnapping them, taking them here.
Make your own free-thinking army.
Yeah, build an army. Rebuild it.
Listen, Omega.
Oh, buddy.
I tried to control it. I tried as hard as I could.
I know, Wrecker. It's okay. The mission's over. You can't break tradition.
Thanks, kid.
Aw.
Look how terrible this animation is.
Yeah, jeez. What is this for children?
I figured you went out of the fight.
Who is he talking to? Was he talking to Ahsoka?
Oh, it's gotta be Ahsoka.
Defending the Republic. Can't stop now. The Republic's going, Rex. Not all of it. We're here. Others are out there too.
There'll be a new republic.
Stay out of trouble. Funny. I was gonna say the same to you.
Or clones.
Take care, Trooper.
That is certainly not the last we'll see of him in this show.
If you're ever in a bind, you know how to reach us.
Ugh.
No, damn.
Intruders confirmed on the Jedi cruiser. Notify the Empire.
No.
Really looks like we're getting to the meat and potatoes of things now, huh?
Gonna take on the whole empire next episode.
All right, that was awesome stuff. That was really awesome stuff, man.
Yeah.
I wish more people would be watching this show because there's a lot of great tie-ins to the other famous animated shows from Star Wars here, you know? Especially, I didn't think we'd see Rex so soon, so I guess the confirmation is that the contact was indeed not Ahsoka, that the Ortez sisters were talking to last week, that it was Rex, and they must have repaired R7, I'm assuming. This must be what it is.
Stands to reason.
Stands to reason in this case. But yeah, Rex is like my favorite, so I was just so excited to see him here. And there's so many great, like, some of the themes seem to be communicated just through the mood alone. And that's what I really appreciate about this episode. Like, there's this one moment where I'm not sure if it's in the highlights or not, but there's just one moment where Rex is like looking ominously amongst his clone helmet after Wrecker's had his surgery. And it's like you just imagine all the kind of thoughts that are probably going through his head of what times used to be like, what it meant to don this outfit. He's got the markings, the count on the side of his helmet. Yeah. And just like there was such a sense of pride before and nostalgic memories that come to mind, but now that's sort of been like tainted with because of what has happened with the Empire and Order 66 and what's become of the clones. And it was neat bringing him back, and it's like he kind of does just show up at like the most convenient fucking time in the world, you know. Like, right, boys, chip's gonna activate any second now. Good thing Rex showed up.
Yeah, what would happen if he didn't?
I mean, Rex would have just turned, as demonstrated in this episode.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was out of any clone or any person, really, it would either be the Ahsoka or Rex who would be the one to show up, considering the events of Clone Wars, of how Rex had his chip activated for a while before Ahsoka was able to do the process herself of deactivating it. So, yeah, for him to come in here and sort of have I don't think he's in like a need of redemption, but it is neat to see him go on the other side, considering how he was in the position before where he was the one attacking and had to undergo it, but now he's able to help out, some more of his brothers by being able to go through with this. But more importantly than that, like the episode itself was just a wonderful emotional piece in so many ways. It seemed to kind of riff off the first Lord of the Rings movie.
I got a lot of Lord of the Rings, and then obviously Alien later on. But yeah, especially in the bar, and then in the or the little cantina there, and then with the
octopus creature. I don't know what the hell that octopus creature is called.
Yeah, it's not a sarlacc, but yeah, it definitely harkened back to Lord of the Rings. And I thought they had just so much really wonderful atmosphere, and both in terms of like the physical landscapes, and we comment on the action, the animation, and all that stuff, and just like the fog and the water and these vast expanses, but also just this aura. It's like some of the episodes have seemingly quicker plotting or quicker pacing or something about it that makes it feel sort of like very plot oriented, whereas this episode still has that, but at the same time it had like this air around it that contributed to the sense of foreboding and to the tension overall, because it's like, even though you're in this big deserted place and we've got a couple people to look out for, it does feel like way more claustrophobic than it ought to. And I feel like that's really a credit to how evocative they're able to play some of these scenes. And when the show leans more into being physical and into being sort of sensory, like this was another episode that got me thinking, like, this feels sort of more cinematic than usual, and not like it's aimed for like kids or something, but just anybody. And I don't know, it gave like all the it's like we're expecting Wrecker to turn at some point to, he's obviously the one they've set up to show what can go wrong for our team in this scenario. But even that, I thought they wrung some nice tension out of him when he's going after Omega. Like, even though nothing too bad is going to happen there, it was a really effective sequence.
Yes. Well, this was the most emotional we've seen the Bad Batch in total. I mean, right down to the fear in Hunter's eyes when he's being choked out by Wrecker. You're really seeing the terror that can come from one of your own. Like, they had the experience of Crosshairs, but they didn't really have as much of an understanding of what was going on, Yeah. They didn't really grasp the gravity of the situation here at hand. And then to see it with Wrecker that, like, hey, just a minute ago you were completely you were one of us, and then in a second it's like a Terminator switch has just gone off in you, and it literally was just the terror that they were all experiencing, that this is not our brother anymore, this is someone else, and having to deal with that was a real intense situation at hand. And I love that. The reason I love this episode so much, it's like this and the first episode are my favorites because it's like the turning of events with your people within your team, the few who you can trust. It's personal because this is an intertwining, interworking situation with our main characters. It's not about like doing some fun mission or something like that. Yeah. This is dealing with one of our own. It's a life and death situation.
It's personal.
It's very personal, and I love that about it. And and really capturing the heart. It's been like really charming and cute, and there was like a really great moment a couple episodes ago when Wrecker built a little place for Omega to sleep. But this right here got me like misty-eyed at just the bond and how they confide in one another, and there is this like older brother situation that's happening between. It's like Hunter is more of like the father to Omega, and then Wrecker is like the cool uncle or older brother to Omega. Like there's a real kinship between the two, which I really love a lot. That was so demonstrated was wonderfully in this episode. Like literally, there's a bit of a mood piece vibe to it, and I think the planet was the one from Jedi Fallen Order where Cal Kestis is first working at the beginning. It's really dark at the beginning of Jedi Fallen Order. but
if you're a true fan, you can see through that.
I mean, I don't remember the name of the planet, but I think that's what the planet is. And yeah, so I mean, it just goes to add on to more of the world building. But I do love the sort of the patience that this episode struck of Yes, is it convenient that Rex shows up at just the right time? Sure. But I love how, like, in order to do the surgery, we got to travel really freaking far, and then we got to sneak in there and go through this hurdle that kind of makes you think of the movie The Descent, having to deal with, like, going through the wreckage. And then hopefully the surgery will go well. you know? So that was
all of this, and there's no guarantee even of that.
Yeah, it was a harrowing situation to thrust these characters into that I'm really feeling the stakes truly being felt. Like I think the show's really been coming into its own a lot more lately. If they can just keep up with this like tone and mood here, this is more of what I really love. Yeah. Especially with the Bad Batch. This is more of like the first episode, I think, nailed just the perfect tone, and then when you cinematically hone in on the darkness of the situation they're at, like you can feel there's like so much of what these episodes seem to deal with is this theme of identity and where do I belong in the galaxy. I was designed for a specific purpose, but now that purpose is to be part of the evil side of the galaxy. Where do I really fit in and where do I belong? Like even Hunter being like, I gotta do what's best for my team. I don't know what that is, but I gotta do it. you know?
I gotta figure it out.
And then even like Rex having to deal with there's so much history with Rex, like him talking to I actually love the way that was handled in the beginning of you still have your chips, and he was afraid because yes, that's right. Like Clone Wars ended with having to like with Ahsoka and Rex and all the Stone Trooper helmets just stacked there. They had to bury a lot of their own, and for Rex, this is a heartbreaking situation. He was a leader, like he was a high-ranking officer here. He was, that's the right term. I think so. Whatever. I'm not good with the terminology. He's he's high. Everyone knows Captain Rex if you've seen Clone Wars, and he does show up in Rebels, so you do know his fate, that he's gonna be fine. But him being here, I like this transitional period because it ends with Rex in Clone Wars, and then you catch up to him when he's like an old man. He's all grayed out by the time you get to him in Rebels. So seeing like the in-between of what led to of the rise of the Resistance and the rise of the rebellion against the Empire. And it just seems like that's where the Bad Batch is headed towards, is joining up with them, because right now they're still in this rogue area. So I'm starting to really get a sense for what this show is doing that's different than the other two, where they seem like they are doing a lot to fill in the blanks and the gaps between the shows, Rebels and Clone Wars, but they do that all through keeping it solely focused on the Bad Batch and their journey, which I think is kind of neat. Clone Wars, you would hop around characters for stretches of period of time. Rebels would do that, but wasn't reliant on it. And like they focused on their core team, and yes, other characters did show up from Clone Wars. Here, this really seems to be doing all it, and Mandalorian included with like Fennec Shan and the Guild and all that. So yeah, I thought this was a great episode. And because here's the thing, to cap it off on my point, Wrecker generally even has been like badass and like, yeah, you saved the day, or really funny, and so he's like the uncle on the team. So I'm like, oh, like I don't want you to turn. And to have a moment like that with him and Omega at the end that was so beautiful was like, I'm really taking this Wrecker scene serious. I'm not laughing at this at all. And it was actually kind of refreshing to get that for a Wrecker dialogue scene.
Yeah, because it really plays like an actual moment between two people who have just had an intense experience and who are, probably reluctant for various reasons to even have this interaction. But also, that love, that bond prevails. Like, I hadn't even thought about it, but you're right. It is like a legitimate emotional scene about Wrecker and Omega, and that's good. That's props to them for doing that, because I usually do associate him with just being like the fun character. So, and
I think out of all the guest stars from the other shows, or the additional part of like, yes, I know they factor in more just the Star Wars lore and galaxy and all that, but Rex we mainly know from Clone Wars. Out of all the guest stars from the other shows, this was the most utilized, the most effective one, I thought, to really capitalize on the heart of it all. That was I really quite enjoyed that. I know a lot of people don't watch our reactions for this, and there can be that little thing because these take a lot of time and work to put together. They do, just like anyone who does reactions for this. It takes a lot of time, and that part of my brain does go off of like, do we really want to cover this right now? Because it seems like not a lot of people are that interested in specifically our reactions, and it always affects the algorithm when you have a low performing video. So it's that thing of like, should we cover this? But whenever we watch it, I'm like, I'm glad we're covering this. Yeah. This is like another reminder of, it doesn't do great in views for us specifically. There are other channels who are doing great with it, but not us in particular. And whatever reason that is, fine. But on my personal end, I really do enjoy watching this show a lot.
I hate it, and I don't want to be here.
And that's why people don't watch it. You.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I enjoy the show quite a bit. Yeah. And it only gives me more desire to then continue, making myself more and more familiar with stuff like Clone Wars and the other things that aren't just the movies that everybody knows. So yeah, I mean, it is a fun, expanding experience for me and for somebody who watched this episode, being aware of who Captain Rex is, but not really knowing who Captain Rex is. I thought they did a nice job of communicating just what that character means and and giving him a sense of presence, to kind of reach people like me.
Well, yeah, it's interesting what this show's doing because it's so. It seems like you really need to be familiar with Clone Wars, and you need to have some familiarity with Rebels, and like obviously Mandalorian too with the Fennec Shan tie-ins and whatever else may come. But
more of those too.
This show for a new series, it's like we're honing in on the fan base of the people who watch the shows. Yeah. So I could see how if you haven't seen them, how audiences might actually drop off of this show because it seems to really rely on you haven't been invested in those other ones,
Yeah, and being that they come out in such bite-sized packages too, I feel like you have to have that investment.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Fascinating choice. But at the same time, it's like it would kind of be annoying if it was just like expositional recaps for every fucking time a new character or like a familiar character showed up.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like it is kind of neat when they do that because they still seem to incorporate the characters in a way that works for the linear progression of this immediate story, but also then is way richer if you understand the other history surrounding the character. They don't alienate you by making it clear like we only care about the people who know this guy.
Yeah. It's obviously the experience would be much more rewarding if you are familiar with those other shows. Anywho, guys, what do you think about this episode? Leave your thoughts down below. Do you want more Rex? I'm actually glad they went with Rex instead of Ahsoka. I gotta say that too.
I mean, in my uninformed opinion, it does actually make a lot of sense to me, and especially if she was the one responsible for alleviating that for him then to go out and to pass it on to his own is more meaningful, I think.
Exactly.
And like those whole thing about him standing there going, I don't know, I've never seen the process from this side. I know it worked on me, but I'm just kind of here to help as much as I can. It made it very relatable in that moment.
Guys, leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe, click the notification bell, hit that like button. And we will catch you guys soon. See you guys.